Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team on the PS5, here with Brabham Racing tonight. We are getting towards the very end of Season 3. It's time for round 21. We're heading to Interlagos for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And apologies for the lack of a stream last night. I was just, exhaustion caught up with me. I've been on the most bizarre sleep schedule for the last few days. And it finally caught up with me, and I ended up just sleeping through yesterday. And that's why we weren't streaming then. But we are back tonight. I'm feeling a little bit better, a little bit more refreshed. Got a fair bit of sleep in over the last day or so, to try and undo some of that sleep damage that I've done to myself over the last week or so. Let's get this season finished off. So, let's see. Where are we? It is the day of Sao Paulo. So, our drivers, how are they feeling? George still feeling a bit meh. His retirement in the last race won't have helped either. Still can't believe we ran out of fuel on the final corner, just meters from the line. That's horrible. Kicking myself for that. Right. Hopefully we can get him a good result today. We desperately need to help him out now in his fight against Lando for third place. As far as the other standings go, it's looking pretty good for us in the Constructors, as you can see, with just 4 rounds left, 2 of which are sprints. We have a very, very healthy lead in the Constructors Championship. If we can get a really solid result tonight, we could potentially win the Constructors Championship today, which would be awesome. In the drivers' standings, we have a 37-point lead over Esteban Ocon. So it's a nice little lead. It's not infallible. It is definitely catchable for Ocon there, but fingers crossed again, a good result will help just move that more towards Oscar's favour. 6 wins apiece for him and Ocon today. Norris has now, as you can see, moved 19 points clear of George after George's retirement from what would have been an excellent P4. And so we desperately need to improve on that. Let's set our targets for tonight. 7th for Oscar. Finishing for George. And off we go to Brazil.
Our F1 season brings us to Brazil for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. The Autodromo José Carlos Pache has been a staple of the racing calendar for decades, and soon we'll once again be watching the best drivers in the world give it their all.
Don't forget, the schedule this weekend sees the drivers take to the track for an all-out sprint race. A good opportunity to clinch some crucial championship points.
The weekend begins here.
So, as you saw from the intro shot there is definitely some rain. It's going to be very wet through practice. We'll have a dry final practice and dry qualifying, and then it'll be a wet race. And wet races here usually don't go well for us. Well, any races here don't generally tend to go well for us. The sprints are another matter, but this could be a tough one. This could be a very tough one. Ideally, we're going to be using the inters and not the full wets in practice. Let's see. It is a sprint weekend, so we want to try and get the car as good as we can, as quickly as we can, and run as long as we can to have a really, really good chance of getting a lot of confidence into our drivers. So I'm going to go with 45 laps of fuel. We're going to try and just run one setup. Hope that we get close. So we'll go with sedimenters here. Yeah, we'll go with 45 laps of fuel. Ah, the Stray Spud has returned. Welcome back. How you doing, Real Aussie Potato? All right, I'm going to go with a 7 on the front. I'm going to go with a 13 on the rear. Go with a 2.8. Let's go with... I'm going to go with a 3.7. I'm going to push that up a little bit. I'm going to bring this back a bit. And we need to swap out parts, don't we? There we go. So that car is done. I'm going to go slightly more aggressive with the aero on Oscar's car. So we're going to go with a 12.5 wing instead of a 13. Lots of faults on the practice parts here, but they will at least get through one session. Done the run plan. Okay, so for this car, we're going to go with a 7 again at the front. We're going to stay with a 12.5. We're going to push that all the way out to a 1.9. I'm going to whack that all the way up as well, and we'll push that up a bit as well. So we've got a couple of various, a bit of variety in the setups there. Hopefully, as I say, we can get close with both cars, and then we can just leave them out. Have a look at the weather. Yeah, Inters is definitely the right call. You see the track is drying up even as they leave the pit lane.
Radio's good. Just a radio check.
In slightly positive news,
Radio's loud and clear.
I finally managed to get my free copy of Indiana Jones recognized, and that's now installed on my PC, so that will be a playthrough coming on the new PC channel very, very soon. But because I've been asleep so much during the day, I've yet to finish figuring out how to do OBS stuff. So I've got to try and make sure I get my head around that tomorrow. And in F1 news, it is now official. Perez has left Red Bull. They've yet to announce, or at least when I checked about an hour ago, they had yet to announce who was going to be taking over. It's highly expected that it's going to be Lawson, which, considering they spent last week praising, the crap out of Yuki Tsunoda, seems a bit weird. But yeah, we shall see. It's likely it's going to be Lawson, but maybe Yuki will get his chance. Who knows? Which suggests then that Hajar will be stepping into the other RB to replace whichever driver moves up. You hear that Indiana Jones is very good. Yeah, I've heard really good things about the game. Lots of positive reviews, so I'm really looking forward to having a crack on that one. I got my free redeem copy of
reducing from here on.
Assassin's Creed Shadows as well. Oh god, Intel made me jump through a hell of a load of hoops to get my hands on that redeem code. It was ridiculous, I'm so used to the simplicity of you get a redeem code and you put it on the PlayStation Store. Boom, boom, boom. 12-digit code, and there it is. It's done. Instant download. Intel, because I got the code as a bundle as part of buying my PC. I had to create an Intel Plus account or whatever it is, an Intel account. Then I had to run a scan on my system so that they could prove that I actually had an Intel chip in my PC and a GeForce graphics card. Then I had to go through a questionnaire. Then I had to go through another questionnaire. Then I finally got a redeem code, had my redeem code activated. And then I had to go onto Ubisoft Connect, and then I had to answer questions on Ubisoft and link it there to then be able to download that game when it comes out in 2 months. It's ridiculous. Oh, I went through all that and I can't even get my hands on the game for at least another 2 months. So you gotta laugh. I missed the PlayStation Store already. And it was a pain as well trying to get my Indiana Jones code. For the first 2 days I was trying it this week, would not work. Couldn't get it to work Sunday night, Monday morning. Couldn't get it working Monday night, Tuesday morning. No, sorry, Saturday and Sunday I was trying to redeem it. Couldn't get it redeemed over the weekend. It just kept saying that my offer had expired. It's like, I still got till the end of January to redeem this. Why won't you download? Or why wouldn't you accept it? And I tried the code again randomly today, and boom, it actually worked. So yeah, that's now in my Steam library. Yeah, it's just been a nightmare trying to get those codes redeemed. Not even all that sure I really want to play the Assassin's Creed game as well when it comes out. But I'm not going to turn down the free game. The Indiana Jones game I really do actually want to play, but not really sure I'm all that interested in the Assassin's Creed Shadows. Just such a pain in the ass to get my hands on them. I also ordered myself a proper chair today, so that hopefully will be with me in a couple of days.
Feedback on the car?
Something a little bit more comfortable than the very cheap plastic shell thing that I've been sitting in, with some weird wooden legs, which I stole out the kitchen because I didn't have a chair in my room. I'll send that down. I'll get my proper chair. I've gone for an Ander Kaiser 2 XL because it's on sale for 250 quid at the moment on Amazon, as opposed to 350.
Everything okay?
And I'm just going to pay for that in instalments, £50 a month for the next 5 months.
Yeah, copy that.
But that's a really, really comfortable chair that's really good for back support as well. So that'll help because my back is ruined. Right, I am going to leave George out there and hope that we can overcome the weakness in the setup with some strategic, estimated guesswork. See how high we can get that driver prep in just one session. Evening, Dino. So the only thing I need to really kind of figure out now is how I'm going to move my furniture around to actually create a good, working area. Looking at desks to bring in rather than the little cheap thing that I've got. Evening, Farrah. Yes, I do have ATS too. I'm actually kind of looking forward to trying out the winter event. I was while I was waiting for Indiana Jones to install, I was watching the little video on how the winter event works on the ETS page. I hate to say that, Spud, but Lawson has been proving himself in Super Formula in Japan, which is arguably a little bit tougher than F2. And he's been performing well against drivers with considerably more experience, alongside him in that, RB. So, he definitely deserves his chance. It's just a shame that it's probably going to come at the, the expense of Tsunoda, who I think definitely deserves a chance. I mean, I've got no problem with. I think it would be better personally for Tsunoda to go to Red Bull, even if it's only for 1 year, and give Lawson a year to bed in, a full year to bed in at RB. They could always make the switch next season. Again, if they needed to, at the end of next season, switch RB. So either let Tsunoda go, or move him back to RB and promote Lawson up. I just think putting Lawson straight in the Red Bull alongside Max, it's like had they not learned from their mistakes with Gasly and Albon. All right, so we have a penalty for one of the Red Bulls. Which one is it? It's Ocon. Ocon has a penalty. For a new ERS unit. So that will be dropping Ocon down the order in main qualifying. I don't think anyone else has a penalty, do they? No, it's just Ocon. Well, that's excellent news. Look at that, 96% setup prep. After just one practice session, that's amazing.
Welcome everyone, qualifying for the sprint awaits us, and we're raring to get going.
All right, so we can still make some adjustments, which we are going to do. Question is, which way do I adjust the car? Do I go up or down on the front wing? What are we running? We're running a 12.5, aren't we? I'm going to go up to a 7.5. And that may actually be enough, because it doesn't just move the front wing, but also moves the braking stability, cornering, and traction. And theoretically, all of those could add up to the 10% that we're missing. Or even if it's just like a 3 or 4%, or even a 5% gain, that'll be enough to get Oscar up to 100% track, weekend prep, which will be excellent. So let's put in those parts there. George is going to be a bit more tricky to figure out. So this one is going to be a 12.5 then. I might try him on the same setup. That's a bit too much. All right, let's bring that down. Let's bring this down a bit. Push that back up, bring that back down. Bring that down a touch, maybe. I don't know about that. Let's try that. At the very least, it should be a good step forward, which will help improve George's prep. Let's give him the best engine we've got. Best DRS and best gearbox. Got inters. Let's go with 2 flying laps. And let's have a look at the water level.
Green light.
It's going to go up and come back down again. All right, let's get out early then. Get a couple of laps in. Set an early benchmark. Get some confidence in the drivers. And then go out for another quick run at the end of the session when the track dries up again. And see if we can find, a good step forward.
Tyre temperatures look good. Good gap in front. Let's go. Tyres in a good window. Track is all clear. Good to go.
Let's have a look at that. Now here, we're taking turn 6.
On his warm-up lap.
And the car
Going
just
very
lost.
slowly, and he
By
still
that point,
makes a
it was
mistake.
just too late.
Good old Enzo. He never fails to disappoint. So, yeah. Can we put the Constructors title to bed today? With Ocon getting that penalty, that'll help our chances, but it's still going to be difficult to win it today. But we can certainly make it almost impossible for Red Bull to win the title mathematically after today. And what kind of pace have we got? 3/10 quicker than Stroll. Russell goes P2 by 6,000ths of a second. Oh dear. That is not that encouraging in terms of pace. Tsunoda splits the two of us. See how we do on the second flying lap. Valtteri goes top. Norris goes to P2. Leclerc now goes up into third place. That's a hell of a lap from Valtteri then. So that Sauber's really come along leaps and bounds in the last couple of Grand Prix, hasn't it?
So Oscar happy to open a lap. A few cars up ahead.
Let's watch George this time. Even to Marcel.
No rain coming. Copy.
Again, with being such a short lap and quite a quick lap as well, the split times are usually absolutely critical on this circuit. And the track is already wetter and getting wetter still. I don't know if we're going to get much improvement on this lap, if any. So far, Hamilton is in danger of getting eliminated. Currently sitting P17 with the potential to drop down to P20. Evening, Wayne. So Hulkenberg 17th. Issues for Max. I'm still really tempted to try and sign Verstappen for next season. To replace George. But by the same token, I don't really want to upset Oscar's situation by bringing in a driver with higher stats.
It's a good lap.
Yeah, no improvement on that lap. Given the track water level now, I'm not surprised. An extra 0.4 mil from when we did our first lap.
Yeah, we will box end of this lap. Copy.
So we'll get prepped up for one more run. But Verstappen's had such a really bad run at Williams the last couple of years. This year in particular has been a disaster for him. Last year, at least he was scoring points on a semi-regular basis. You know, Williams had a decent-ish car last year for Williams. This year, it's been abysmal. And Max bottom of the standings with just 2 points. Just kind of curious as to what he could achieve in our car for us next year. But it's, do we go with Max or do we promote Antonelli? Because I'm probably going to get rid of George for next season. Why we signed him to a new one-year deal to start next year to break the contract with the ridiculously high break clause in it for this that he's currently got. I don't know if anyone's going back out again, you know. I don't think they are. They're not. We're through, so there's no point running again and just putting miles on the car and burning out the tyres. So Hamilton's out, along with Fittipaldi, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Gasly and Verstappen in SQ1. Valtteri tops the timing sheets. Oh, we have made that car worse. We have made that car very much worse. Oh boy. Okay, well, I can play about with the front wing. Let's do that. Let's take it down to a 6.5. See if we can claw back. Actually, it only made it 2% worse. I thought it made it worse than that. Look at that for George, though. Up to 97. We'll try pushing the front wing up. I think that might be a bit overkill. But we'll give it a look. We can always change the front wing back down again. Let's, again, go with 2 flying laps of fuel. Put in those tyres again. And we'll get out nice and early. Track is going to start to climb again around 5 minutes time. So we need to get these lap times in now while the track is in its best condition. Hope we don't have too much of an issue with traffic. George gets a nice little toe through the first sector. And I think we might just get away with not hitting traffic at all here. We are going to get away with that. That's lovely. Again, George will get a nice toe up to the line. And he goes quickest.
Yeah, so you're just coming through now.
By just 16 thousandths of a second. Now, can we get a second lap in before the track starts to increase its water level? How much slower are we? A couple of tenths? Not even that. Very close. Look at that. Less than a tenth separating the top three. Now Norris goes in ahead of us just by 6 thousandths of a second. Alonso in trouble. Alonso in trouble. P13 at the moment. Bottas goes quickest again. Where is Valtteri's pace coming from? He's absolutely crushing it. And again, we're probably not going to see the AI coming back out again. So we are more than likely safe with those times anyway, but we're on track. It hasn't started getting wetter yet, so we may as well have another run. George goes purple and hits peak confidence, thanks to, again, getting a nice little slipstream from Oscar here. He might go fastest in the middle sector as well. Oh, no improvement for either driver. Track now starting to get a little bit wetter, but shouldn't affect the lap. Not really. And no improvement in the end.
Very good stuff. That's P5.
But that's it. We are through. Alonso going out in this session. Unless he goes for another run, which he is not going to do. No one's going back out. So, yeah, Perez, Porsche, Lawson, Sargent, Alonso, and Van Dorn eliminated in SQ2. What chance of Valtteri pole position for the sprint? All right, well, we've got the car back to 6.5. And that means that will be a 2.8. So we're not going to make those changes till after the sprint. So we're learning a little bit here on the setup there. That does need to go back to a 7, I think. But it will be a 2.8 instead of a 1.9 on the roll bar, and that will unlock even more performance for Oscar. 93%, so that did not work for George. We'll go back to the 7.5 to go up to a 97 again. But we did find where the cornering needs to be, so that's good. So again, we'll go with 2 flying laps. You know what? Let's go with 3. You can always strip a little bit out based if it's going to be weird on the weather. Oh no, we actually do want to go straight out. So the final lap is going to be the all-important lap.
Sorry.
Damn it, George.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Copy that.
Yellows.
Copy.
At least he didn't damage the car. This is going to be really tight. But we're going to be on track at just the right time here. Wow, I say that. The guys that are coming out the pits now are going to be on the track at a better time than us, but only just. And we're going to watch Valtteri's lap because I want to see just how quick he can go here. He's going to be the first one to set a competitive lap time. Leclerc, Norris, Ocon have not left the pits, nor has Tsunoda. I guess those guys are just going to go for a... I wonder if they're going for a pit lane start.
You got a good gap ahead. Good to go.
So there's only 6 cars on track. So the worst we can do is 5th and 6th here. Can Valtteri tag himself a pole position? Well, we've gone quicker than him in the first sector. Valtteri is quicker in the middle. He goes top by a second, but that's because the track's much drier now than when we did our first run. Here comes Oscar up to the line. No improvement. Oh my word, did we just run out of battery? Yeah, we ran out of battery there at the end. Look, no improvement for George either, despite being up in the first and second sector. Valtteri Bottas could be on for pole position. Stroll takes pole by 63 thousandths. Ricciardo is third. Zhou goes third. What a weird grid. Look at that, Stroll on pole, then Valtteri, then Zhou, Ricciardo, then us. Leclerc, Norris, Ocon and Tsunoda, none of them driving out for a lap. I wonder if they are doing a pit lane start here.
Well, it's a different format this weekend, with a sprint set to spice up today's events. And after a season of sprints, this is the last one of the year. This circuit is certainly no stranger to overtakes, so I think we're in for a good one.
The big draw today is the opportunity to grab some extra championship points. After all, they could make the difference when the season comes to a close.
Well, no doubt there'll be plenty of action today here at the Sao Paulo Sprint.
This is going to be a very, very strange sprint. I am going to go with softs, I think. All right, let's send them to the grid for the start of the Sao Paulo Sprint.
24 laps around Sao Paulo in today's sprint.
No, they're in the top 10, look.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Do we have anyone starting from the pit lane? Perez. Perez is starting from the sprint, so they just sat in the garage. That's weird. Why didn't they go out? Valtteri's into the lead. Maybe we should think about signing Valtteri.
I was going to suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast. Cover.
George currently ahead of Oscar. That's fine. So we need a good result, especially after Monday for George now. Valtteri has scampered away at the front, look.
Just keep on top of that management.
Copy. DRS enabled.
So you are P6 at the moment, currently P6. So next car is Russell.
Stroll responding now, trying to hunt down Valtteri, and has just about got back in that 1 second. And that's a two-car breakaway at the front. Joe acting as a bit of a buffer here, holding up Ricciardo and us as a result as well. Keeping the field condensed, no one can really make a move at the moment. Oh, speaking of, we just got dropped. But we haven't used our batteries yet. Stroll moves into the lead.
Overtake available.
Copy.
Now we're going to use the batteries. As Ocon has moved himself up into 7th place, getting past both Norris and Leclerc.
Overtaking is very, very difficult.
Plenty to play for.
Let's go flat out.
We can use the pace now.
George just blocking Oscar there, saying, nope, you're not coming through. But Oscar should go through here. Although George hangs it out around the outside and keeps his foot in and holds the place. And just like that, we are back in DRS range.
Charge the pack.
Suggest increased LICO.
Copy.
Let's introduce a bit more management.
Oscar looking at the inside line this time, and that should be a completed move. Gets it done.
Use overtake.
Copy.
George recommend we start bringing the battery back up.
I think we might have not quite got the DRS with Oscar there.
Has DRS.
George now giving Oscar the same treatment he was on the receiving end of.
Yeah, copy. There's only so much I can do.
Oh, sorry, Oscar giving George the same treatment.
Keep your head down.
It's P5. P5 with that lap.
And this time it's Oscar who hangs it out around the outside of turn 4 there.
1.1.
Take a look at tyres. So the whole grid apart from us on those mediums. And we're doing what we always do in sprints, and that's just protecting our tyres in the opening few laps, the opening half of the sprint. So that we can be a bit more aggressive later when everyone else's tyres are starting to degrade. Once again, we're just outside. Oh, yeah, just outside of DRS range again. As Leclerc now gets back in front of Ocon. Where is Alonso? P13 at the moment. 5 places away from a point. And George will go up the inside on Oscar.
And recharge should be on.
Yep.
Likewise, I'm saving that little bit of extra fuel that we have as well for when we do start to push, so we can open up a gap quickly.
Ocon has DRS.
Valtteri has got a little bit of a lead over Stroll at the moment. Ricciardo and Joe still about 2 seconds off the back of Stroll. And starting to struggle a little bit now, it would seem. Time for us to start thinking about
And Oscar
pushing
there
through.
is good.
Yeah.
We think there's still opportunities here.
To start reducing that management.
Start pushing.
An overtake is available.
Oh, look at Oscar. Look at Oscar. Seeing an opportunity. Nearly managed to make it work. But just ran out of space in the end.
Yeah, he did get DRS.
Yeah, understood.
So we're happy with this level of management.
Ooh, nearly got caught out by Ocon there. And Oscar has switched back into 5th place again.
Tyre management, everything's good.
Okay.
And here we go. Here's a chance. Up the inside. Couldn't quite make it stick. It's compromised just a little bit on exit. And we are stuck behind these two as they just continue to squabble.
As DRS.
Behave up.
Let's give it everything now.
No harm done.
Oh, we push George out.
Do my best.
That's not good.
Clerk behind.
Copy.
Need to find our way through here.
Carry on is good.
Yeah.
Suggest reduce a bit lift and coast.
Copy.
So happy to drop lift and coast.
Copy.
Pack is low.
Copy.
More lift and coast.
Yeah. Copy.
Do we need to keep the lift and coast up a bit more now?
Yeah, roger.
Yeah, we're just frustrated here. Sat behind two guys that are not leaving any space for us at all.
Focus on recharge.
Copy. Copy.
And the last thing I need, in a way, is for Stroll to drop into this train as well, because then it'll make it even harder to punch through. Oh, George gets through. Briefly.
Yeah, good job. Oh, come on ahead.
Evening, Sean. You won the championship with Valtteri and came second in the Constructors. Very nice. Yeah, Valtteri's a really underrated driver in this game. You know, his
tyre feedback.
his pace holds up really well.
All very good.
Stick him in a good car, he can achieve great things. We now have got a 3-car train to fight through.
Overtake will be available. Happy to use the time.
Can I jump on Ricardo here? Yes, there we go. It's one down.
This is good. So ahead of you, you've got Stroll.
And now we have this
Just manage these tyres.
2 cars side by side in front of us issue again. And there's a chance that Ricardo will try and throw it up the inside.
Pack is high.
Kept him behind.
Copy.
Recharge on.
Copy.
So happy to push now.
Possibly you can reduce the LICO slightly.
Copy.
All right, we should be able to get Joe here. Oh, look, effortlessly around the outside of him. And looks like Oscar's going to have a look at the inside and gets through on Ricardo.
Nice one. This is good. Currently P3. So strong. Just reduce your speed. Copy. Charge the pack.
So Oscar, we can look after this tyre.
Copy.
Part of me is going to feel real guilty taking the sprint win away from Valtteri, but
0.6.
yeah, George needs to win. He needs the points. Where is Norris? Norris is in 8th in final point paying position at the moment. Alonso's still nowhere near getting points.
You got Joe behind.
Ah, damn it.
Keep your head down.
And we have a yellow flag. That is Gasly.
Pack is high.
Copy.
Oh no, it's
Let's
Hockenberg.
take a look
It's
at the
Gasly
replay.
boxed then.
Right, let's have a look as we go into
He must have
turn
boxed.
4. And
Very wide for
they
Nico
go,
there.
leaving the race-
Copy.
Oh wow, look at everyone's tyres. No, Gasly hasn't boxed. He's just... We must have missed it. He must have made a mistake earlier on and we missed it.
Next car behind is Piastri. Yeah.
Hamilton's down in 21st. It's not been a good sprint weekend for Lewis.
Copy.
Recharge on, please.
Copy.
And once again, this is the problem when you get two cars that just go side by side all the time. It just stops us from moving through.
9 laps remaining. So that's currently P4. Point 2. So I've got Piastri's car behind. Point 2. Behind Piastri.
Okay, maximum pace.
Overtake is available.
All right, so we've got alongside Stroll. Take that place and hopefully we can push straight on and get past Joe as well. And then we can go hunting after Valtteri. Oh! Oscar just goes up the inside of the pair of them.
Sweet.
Okay, Oscar, good job.
Let's
Got to
see
watch
what
this
happened.
again. Look at
Well,
this from
heading now
Oscar.
into
Just
turn
sees
5.
a little opportunity
The gap
and they go
opens up for them.
3 wide
And I
through
wonder
turn
now if they
4
can
and he takes both
capitalise on
George
this.
and Stroll. And then immediately launches an attack on Joe, and I think he's through. He is. What a great couple of corners there for Oscar Piastri. 3 places gained.
Good job.
Next car is Bottas.
Now George goes through, and we are second and third. And now we can finally set about going after Valtteri.
Nice job. Currently P3. So next car will be Piastri.
And we've left Joe behind already. George says, I want my place back.
So Piastri next car.
Oh, it's a VSC. It's a red flag. Ooh, Perez and Sainz coming together. We're going to have to put fresh tyres on because the rest of the grid's going to do that. Oh, yeah. Just that little innocuous little tap sent Perez into the barrier, and then that spun him straight into the path again of Sainz, and big damage for such a small little collision between the two cars there.
Let's get this sprint underway once more. And it's lights out, and away we go.
We want good pace.
All right, excellent start from George. He takes the lead from Valtteri. Perez will have a 5-second penalty added, which cannot be served. So that will be a 3-place penalty for the feature race. And Oscar goes around the outside of Valtteri, and we have the 1-2, and we have another collision. Norris and Tsunoda. And that is excellent news for George.
There's a lot of debris.
And we've had a crash on track.
It's all kicking off here at the close of the sprint. Norris has a crash and starts sucking wind in the same way that I stand up and I start sucking wind. So that is a penalty for Tsunoda. He will have that served at the end of the race because he is still going.
DRS enabled.
Valtteri car behind. Behind 2.1. Currently P2. Ahead 0.4. Bottas behind. Gap behind 2 seconds. George recommend we start bringing the battery back up.
Recharge on.
Fastest lap doesn't mean a thing in the sprint, so I don't mind that we don't have it.
It has DRS.
have overtake available.
Cool the car.
Recharge on is good.
Remember recharge.
And with Ocon in P6, that is just 3 points
Stroll
for
is now
Ocon.
the car behind.
It'll be 7 points for Oscar because we are going to let George win.
1.7.
Alonso's P10, so no. Oh, another yellow flag. Is that Max with a lockup?
2 laps remaining.
It is.
So this is what happened.
His season just
Now we're watching Max Verstappen here.
he can't wait for the season
Things
to be
look
over.
fine here. And the car fails to respond. What caused that?
It was
I
lucky he
wonder?
didn't hit the back of Fittipaldi there.
And reminder for the recharge button.
Lift off end of straight.
Suggest increased LICO.
Just want to be a little bit more gentle, if I can, with Oscar's engine. And DRS for that matter, because his parts aren't as good as George's.
Overtake available.
Copy.
Overtake available.
And George will pull 8 points back on Lando from the sprint, with Lando down in 18th place. There's still a chance for Ocon to move up a bit more. He's up to 5th now. Gone ahead of Zhou. So that's 4 points for Ocon. So he's only going to lose out 3 points to Piastri. And now there is Zhou doing me a big solid. Can he hold the place? No, he can't.
Track is low.
Yep.
George wins from Oscar. Valtteri gets 3rd place ahead of Stroll, then Ocon, Zhou, Porsche. Leclerc gets the final point in the sprint.
George Russell did so well today. He really deserved that sprint win.
That was a fantastic effort. Really well done.
That's the
And Norris crosses the line in 18th place.
That is P2, Oscar.
Let's go get him. Thank you.
And that's a well-deserved sprint win today for George Russell.
And what a well-deserved P1 finish that was. Absolutely outstanding.
So then, confirmation of the final result. It is a win for George, with Oscar in 2nd. That's 15 excellent points for us, and 11 points pulled out over Red Bull already this weekend. Bottas gets 3rd after a really, really strong performance so far this weekend. Stroll in 4th. Ocon is 5th. 6th for Zhou. 7th for Porsche. 8th for Leclerc. 9th for Daniel Ricciardo, in the end dropping down out of the points. Alonso got himself up into 10th, but misses out on points because it's a sprint. Then it's Van Dorn from Sargent, Lawson from Fittipaldi, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen, Tsunoda, and Sainz and Perez both failing to finish.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
The ups and downs of Interlagos mean a full-speed qualifying lap can be hard on both driver and car. Sector 2's technical corners demand high downforce to make a quick lap.
Now, there's been a bit of talk lately about Oscar Piastri. Karun, how's he been doing?
Well, they're certainly delivering better results than their teammates, and they'll be expected to keep that up for the rest of the weekend.
Let the competition commence.
All right, we can make some tweaks, which we are going to do. Yeah, we'll go with that. And that can go up. Go with that. Right, we've got some tyres that we can mess about with. We'll go with those ones just to start out. Going to be going medium, soft as one option, but we've also got hard tyres to play with that. We might even go medium, hard. Oh no, wait, it's a wet race, isn't it? So yeah. All of those dry tyres, most of them are going to get unused. Let's go out and do a lap on these tyres, see how we do.
Green light.
It will not be a stellar time with just 70% life on them, so we'll speed through this first run. .108.6.
I can recharge on and box this lap.
Copy.
Go for another lap on the same tyres.
Remember the pit lane speed limiter.
So far, we're actually quickest. Well, there we go. Science pumps in a time on... oh, well, there you go. Look, everyone's using really bad tyres. Look at Tsunoda and Norris doing times on really bad tyres. Max as well.
Yeah, we're happy with that.
I wonder if I can get away with trying a set of mediums. We'll go out now, so that there's time to come back in again if we need to. Let's see what kind of pace we can throw out with medium tyres. On paper, these tyres are worth about 7/10 of a second.
Warm the tyres where you can.
Copy.
Which would be enough to put us at the top, because we're about half a second behind Sainz.
Oscar, you've got a clear track ahead. You're good to open the lap.
It's all clear ahead. Good to go.
And this is Hamilton on a flying lap in front of Oscar. Could give Oscar a nice little bonus slipstream hit. There's George in the background. No purples, but I didn't expect it to be purple with mediums. I just want it to be quick enough to get us through. We have a yellow flag. Oh, we have a red flag. God damn it.
Red flag.
Porsche's done something. Crashed out at turn 4 into the barrier.
Look at the Mercedes. The car makes contact, and they'll have to pick themselves up after that.
That's a big one.
And while all that was happening, the crew in the garage could do nothing but watch on.
Gonna have 6 minutes left. Still just about got time, as long as we go straight out. Don't get in my way, Ricardo. Thank you. Right, George now coming up to the back of Lawson. Lawson peels out the way. The Ferrari is going. Now Lawson is going. And this will actually give Georgia a bit of a tow. Potentially through the final sector hit.
Currently P3.
I'd like to think that's enough to get us through, but I don't know. We're going to take manual control to get them back to the pits a little bit quicker.
Currently P2.
So this is good, Oscar.
And we'll prep with a set of softs and hope that we don't have to use them. Porsche Air is a car that definitely would have got through the session, so that helps. There's only 5 spots that need to be filled now, not 6. One less car that could potentially get in front of George. I never actually checked to see our setup.
Oscar pit lane.
Okay, so remember pit lane speed limiter.
I think I'm going to sit in the garage. I think we've got enough pace to get through. 0.4 of a second. It'll be tight, but I think we should be okay. 95%. That's the best it's been for Oscar. We'll leave it at that. 98% for George. Oh, that's excellent. So that means that he will have 100% driver prep as well. Hamilton 8,000 slower, so he's more at risk than we are. And there we go. We are through. A bit more comfortable than I thought in the end. All the cars in the end maybe didn't go back out again. I don't think the Red Bulls went back out. Penalty for Sainz, Ocon and Perez. We know about Ocon. He's got a new ERS. Sainz had that big shunt, didn't he? So that's put a new gearbox and a new ERS in his car. So he's probably starting from the back of the grid. It was Perez as another one as well. New engine and a new gearbox. Yeah, that's a drop into the back of the grid jobby again. Let's bolt on another set of mediums. Let's go with 2 flying laps.
Okay, Oscar, so the track will go green now.
And this, I don't think, will be good enough to get us through running mediums in this session. But again, it's all about getting that early confidence in so that we can put on a set of softs, just do one run and get through.
Tyre temperatures are in a good window, well done.
And drive straight out, so the track will be clear.
So Oscar happy to open a lap.
We're happy where we are on tyres.
Right, we are
Track is
just
all
600ths behind Sainz.
Good to go.
A couple of tenths further back for George. Let's see if we can get an improvement on this run. Battery may be a little bit of an issue at the end of the lap. Now Norris goes top. Pushes the goalposts a little bit further away by an extra tenth of a second. Or half a tenth. We are improving. It's Powley up in 4th place. Yeah, that Sauber's definitely got some improvements this year. We're out of battery. So this won't be an improved lap, I don't think. Yeah, no improvement for Oscar or George.
Oscar, currently that's P3. P3. That looks like a nice lap.
So
Oscar.
unless we are very, very careful with management
Okay.
and do it manually, there's no way we can really do 2 runs or
So
2 laps on a run
P6.
because we just don't have the battery on the second lap.
Yeah, we're happy with that.
Yep.
Change that. Need to do that for Oscar as well. There we go. And now let's move time forward a little bit. Find a little bit of clear track. Get out and do our run where hopefully we won't get held up. Some news that is out there at the moment is that according to Ted Kravitz, there is a get-out clause in Albon's contract, which means the door is potentially open for him to return to Red Bull, which would be interesting to see him return alongside Verstappen, and that would leave Lawson and Tsunoda at RB. Williams may possibly want to jump on that if they want Colapinto in their car next year, alongside alongside Sainz. It's nothing confirmed. I think Kravitz is just I don't know if he actually has concrete information or if he's just speculating on that.
Let's go.
But, I mean, that would be an interesting twist in the story, wouldn't it?
All clear ahead.
If Red Bull replaced Perez with Albon. And then we would see Colapinto on the grid again next year. Russell, currently in the drop zone, needs a good lap here. Perez all the way up in 2nd place. And he is running that new powertrain. This is a good lap for Oscar. George is improving, but is he improving enough? Oscar goes up to 3rd.
That's P3. P3. You're P3.
If we don't get a slipstream, I don't think we've got the pace to challenge for pole position today. George does not improve enough. He is out. Oh, shit. That is not good. If I'm really lucky, I might just be able to get him out again, but I don't think I can. Gotta go for it. I don't think we're going to get him round in time.
Yeah, coming.
If we do make it across the line, it's going to be by the tightest of margins.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Missed out by just under 3 seconds in the end. So, yeah, George out in P14. Oh, that's not good. There are going to be penalties, though. Ocon, Perez, and Sainz, all in the top 10, all with penalties, will promote George up 3 places, potentially. So, 11th. But that's not ideal. Not ideal at all. And yeah, we've never had great pace around this track, and our downforce issues certainly seem to be compounding that here. One and 9.2 is slow, but it will get me into peak confidence, however briefly. And now I need a slipstream. Bottas in the top 10 again. And say with 3 penalties in the top 10, he could end up very high up the order again. Okay, we're going to have to wait for Norris. There he is. It's going to be another difficult race for George. But hopefully we can get Oscar nice and high up the grid here. We just need to deny... I don't think we're going to win the Constructors' Championship tonight, but we need to deny Red Bull as many points as we can. If Red Bull have a really shocking race, we could actually win the Constructors tonight.
Let's go.
Now, our luck is in the hands of the F1 gods. Will we be able to avoid traffic? It's a purple first sector for Oscar. That is an excellent start. Not quite as close to Norris as I would like to be, but close enough, I hope, for the final sector. You know, getting a nice long drag up that straight out of Junção. No improvements for Norris. He's going to get a toe here at the end, though, so that might give him a better final sector. It doesn't. Oscar goes top.
Currently P1.
By less than 0.08 of a second. So, who is on a flyer that could take that away from us?
Yeah.
Here comes Ocon. Ocon moves up to third. What about Yuki? Valtteri didn't come out. Oh, don't tell me Valtteri started from the pit lane. Alonso now goes P5 ahead of Charles Leclerc. That's an in-lap, so Leclerc's done. So we have pole position from Lando Norris. Ocon in P3, Tsunoda P4, Alonso 5th, Sainz 6th with a penalty, as does Ocon. And then Leclerc 7th, Perez 8th with a penalty, 9th for Stroll and 10th for Valtteri. But is he starting from the pit lane? Because he did not come out.
There's a terrific atmosphere here in Interlagos as the drivers prepare for 71 laps of scintillating action.
Brazil loves a home racer, and none more so than the brilliant Ayrton Senna. His victory here at Interlagos in 1991, fighting a broken gearbox, is one of the most emotional moments in F1 history.
Interlagos Sector 2 is a maze of twists and turns, demanding the highest downforce. Sectors 1 and 3 are high speed, however, giving drivers plenty to keep them busy around this thrilling track. The excitement is building, there's electricity in the air, but there's no surprise in that. It's race day.
All right, let's take a look at the weather. We are going to be starting on Inters. And we're going to be staying on Inters for the entire race by the look of it. And these tyres are going to overheat. So we have a couple of options here. One is that we try and look after the tyres. The other is that we go for broke on the tyres and see what we can do that way. And that is looking to be quicker. So it looks as though we're going to have to be careful with our tyres. Let's take 4 laps of fuel out. Right, let's take more than 4 laps out. Let's take 6 laps of fuel out. We want to be strong off the line. George is up to P10. Not quite sure why he's up to P10. Unless Valtteri's starting from the pit lane. That would be the 4 cars getting out of the way. All right. We are prepped and ready. Let's send them to the grid for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. There's certainly been a buzz around the Mercedes driver this weekend.
I think they could have been higher up than 20th, but let's see if they can move forward from here.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. And now, it's time for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
No, Valtteri's there. Or is that Fittipaldi? Might be Fittipaldi.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
It is. Oh. Valtteri, the only car starting from the pit lane. So let's see. Where are the penalties? So Ocon's 13th, Sainz 16th, Perez 21st. Poor Valtteri. He's going to have so much work to do today. George gets up the inside of Stoffel. Should be able to convert that into the position by turn 4. I hope. No. Backs out of it.
George, recommend we start bringing the battery pack up.
Copy.
Key thing is to keep the tyre in good shape. Keep the tyre in good shape.
Copy.
Valtteri will catch up to the back of the grid reasonably quickly here while they're concertinaing on the opening lap.
The track now.
Hasn't got to compromise his braking point, unlike the train. Sonoda's having a look at Oscar.
Use overtake.
Yeah.
Don't really want to give up the place, but he's got us. Maybe we can get him back.
We don't want to lose too much time. Use the tyre.
No.
Okay, keep looking.
And Hamilton's got through. See, George's tyres already starting to overheat in the dirty air.
Keep your head down.
Use the overtake button.
Copy.
Overtake available.
Yeah, copy.
And we have a yellow flag, and that is Stroll doing Stroll things. There he is, doing some verge cutting.
Copy.
Now this one involves Stroll. Things were all right here. Well, you can see the lockup, but that's
Now that
just
he's
the risk you
not
take.
driving
The
for Daddy
later you
Stroll
leave
at
it.
Aston Martin, he's exploring other careers as maybe a landscape gardener. And Leclerc has a fault.
But there.
And that's a problem with his engine. Oh, that's not a good engine percentage at the start of the race. Look at the heat in George's tyres. Need to try and get him into some clean air if we can.
Where you can, George, we'll call the PU.
Okay.
There's a chance. Nope. Leclerc's little half look there, blocked our attempt at a lunge.
Copy.
And we just couldn't get through because we didn't have the slipstream. Oh, it's not Leclerc either, it's Hamilton. Piastri gets through. Or does he?
Sweet.
Oh, Yuki sticks it, hangs it out around the outside.
Recharge on.
Copy.
Use overtake.
We are still stuck behind Hamilton.
Charge the pack.
Alright, copy that.
Alright, so are we likely to see much fluctuation? Is there any chance of a DRS window opening? Maybe at a couple of points, maybe around lap 20 it might open up for a brief moment. Maybe around lap 40 as well. Fault now for Gasly as well.
Well, yeah, right. It's
Crofty is of no use to us. Stroll 5 seconds off the back of the grid thanks to that lockup. And now Norris is trying to find his way through. Can we hold him off? We have the Sonoda slipstream. But Norris is going to go around the outside.
Okay, use deploy.
Copy.
Let's try and punch through if we can. There we go.
Nice.
Good job, Oscar.
Next car is Sonoda.
But that means we're compromised on the run up to the flag, or the run up to the line here, because we didn't have enough DRS for the final turn. Slipstream will help us there. George dropping away from the back of the Ferrari. Look at the difference in tyres. Evening, Victor. I seem to remember we had a similar situation to this last year, and I wasn't sure what to do with the tyres. Looks like we're going to have the same issue here as well this time around. So Brazil's about 1.3, 1.4 kilos of fuel for a lap. We took 6 laps out. So let's say we started at 7.6. Half of that's going to be 2.3. That's not going to work, is it?
Alonso, the car behind.
Oh, no, that would work. That would be...
1.1.
No, that can't be right. Be 3.7, 3.8. Let's say 3.8. So it's about 1.4 kilos a lap. Norris has got through. I'm just biding my time on the outright pace. Let the fuel slowly trickle in. Keep the tyres in a good window of life. I do think the one stop will be the right call if we have enough pace to stay with the cars that we're chasing, but if we don't, then we may have to pivot to a 2-stop, which I don't really want to do. George doesn't seem to have any pace at the moment. It's already dropped off the back of Ocon, as Ocon has pushed through onto Hamilton. Quick lap though for Ocon. 118.9.
That's lovely stuff.
Good job. Let's keep going.
So Oscar, we are currently...
Oscar gets through on Yuki.
So,
This time he's able to hold the inside line. Gets enough of a draft from the back of that McLaren to hold the position up the hill again. Could do with a bit more confidence in George. But he needs to overtake someone for that to happen. Now Alonso gets through into 3rd place and is going to have a look at getting past us. Do just about shut it down, but the window is open for a lunge if Alonso feels so inclined. He doesn't. And start to try and move George back up a little bit. Everyone's getting held up behind Van Dorn. I want to try and get a couple of quick overtakes in if I can, get George up into peak confidence and get him through into clear air to go hunting after Enzo Fittipaldi. Hard to overtake on this track in these conditions, unless you have a really good car. And ours is decent, it's not great.
heavier now in the pit lane.
Has some things that make it very, very good. In other areas, it's very much a middle of the road car.
Finding free air where we can for this PU temp.
Yeah, copy. Copy.
And we'll just have some PU cooling.
Yep.
So happy to drop lift and coast.
Yep, fine.
We almost had it there.
Done.
And this
Copy.
time we do get through.
George, recommend we start bringing the battery back up. Nice job. So car ahead now, Lewis.
There we go. Some peak confidence now for George.
As much as you can. So we need to
Alonso's
introduce
tyres
more
are
lift and
really
coast.
struggling. Norris looking after his tyres now. He's in clear air, look. More problems for Max. Ocon's tyres struggling a little bit. Hamilton's tyres compared to Lawson. Huge difference there.
So Lewis is the car ahead. The gap ahead 1.4.
Evening, Adrian.
Oh, problem behind you. Get behind 0.4.
And even while we've been harvesting, we've been able to close the gap back to Lewis. Extra confidence has certainly helped. I think possibly a slower lap in front, maybe. No, really. Well, that was last lap. This lap may be a bit different. Let's see, what does Van Dorn do across the line? Sonoda moves past us. Yeah, no, it was just a better lap for George.
There's still opportunities here.
Okay, Leclerc is the car behind.
What did you miss? We got a very good 1-2 in the sprint. A little bit of drama late on. Then not a great qualifying. We managed to get pole with Oscar, but George didn't make Q3. So having to work his way through the order. And as always, we are just lacking a little bit of pace on this track.
Charge the pack.
Perez is done. Yeah, well, maybe not completely in F1. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him blocking up the Cadillac in 26. Yeah, a Mexican driver in the American team with all his sponsor money as well.
And overtake is available. And happy to pick up the pushing level.
There we go, past Hamilton. Can I get Lawson and or Van Dorn here as well?
Nice one.
Nice job. So that's currently P9.
We've got Lawson now to get Van Dorn.
So we roll.
Nice job.
Van Dorn just driving defensively. Lawson's having a little look up our inside. Oh no, it's not. It's Hamilton having a little look at the inside. Here's a chance. Shut down.
So as much tyre calling as you can manage, please. Coming.
So George now up into P8. Maximum confidence, briefly. Lost a little bit for failing to overtake. And Norris in clear air is why I think the two-stop is a mistake. You know, if you're stuck in the dirty air like a lot of cars have been and you burn your tyres up, you're kind of forced onto the two-stop. But the one-stop, I think, is the way to go, which is why I've not been pushing my tyres, trying to keep them fresh and alive. Actually going to take a little bit more pace out of our tyres right now, just to sap some of that heat away. What will be interesting with regards to Perez is the terms of the split. Because he obviously signed a 2-year extension to the end of 2026. It's too late for him to get a seat anywhere on the grid for next season. So that assumes that he's going to have, an enforced year of maybe no racing at all. For which he will have been very handsomely compensated. But are they going to put him on gardening leave for the duration of the contract as part of the payoff? Will he have to sit out of the 2026 season as well? Will he be allowed to race in other competitions, different, for different formulas? Right, since Van Dorn has had the pressure taken off him having to drive defensively, he has closed the gap up a little bit to Fittipaldi. It's down to 3.3. As you can see, he's at a 1:19.8 last time round.
Rain easing in pit lane.
So Lewis in the pit lane now.
And there we go, first of the stops already. Just 16 laps, well, just 15 laps done on those tyres. We're on lap 16 now. It's a good stop for Ferrari. Hamilton will feed out just about behind Gasly, I think. Yeah, very, very close. But he should get past him pretty quickly now. Gasly with that fault, which we never actually found out what it was. Let's have a look. Oh, engine. Yeah, same as Leclerc. Alonso's closed back in on... Piastri's closed back in on Alonso and Tsunoda. George starting to close back in on Van Dorn again. And Leclerc's into the pits. Now, that'll free up Fittipaldi. So both Ferraris coming in extremely early. Decent stop. Now Hulkenberg and Bottas are in as well. Valtteri starting from the pit lane. Hasn't made much progress. Maybe getting an early stop and running in some clear air will help him get a nice good undercut. Because he's had pace all weekend. Third in the sprint. Qualified first and second. First in SQ1 and SQ2. We pipped him to pole in the sprint. Stroll pipped him to pole in the sprint in SQ3. And that will drop him out in 22nd. And now we have caught the back of Van Dorn. Gasly's fault gets worse, or is that a new fault? Oh, his gearbox is playing up as well now.
Push and hold, overtake.
Now Perez gets a fault. I think that's the only part that didn't get changed in his car. He's got a new gearbox and a new engine. Now his battery's playing up. We're down to 6.3 kilos under. So we've saved about 1.5 kilos so far. And there should be a move done for us here. Hamilton with a new fastest lap of 1:17.4.
Use overtake.
Copy.
Use the pace now.
And now we can stretch our legs a little bit with George. Up to P6. Turn our attention back to Piastri.
Seems to be raining a lot.
We go around the outside of Alonso, who's going to be boxing soon himself, I think. Is at just 44%. Look at the midfield. 38, 38, 36, 36, 35, 39. A lot of cars in front of Leclerc are going to be jumping into the pits very, very soon. Sainz goes into the pits. Oscar now looking to get past Yuki. Yuki being stubborn again.
Recharge on.
Copy. Copy.
Sainz will feed out just a little bit ahead of Valtteri, but he'll be under pressure pretty soon if he's not careful.
How's this tyre?
Feel okay so far.
Let's get into the tyre cooling, please.
Copy.
So this is very much a race where we are keeping pace in reserve. We're managing the car in this one rather than pushing it. Because we could go a lot faster, but we would absolutely destroy the tyres. So we have to manage our pace.
Overtake will be available.
I do want George to get through as quickly and efficiently as possible here.
Let's go flat out.
If I can't get him here in the braking zone, I'm kind of screwed because I'm out of battery now.
My feeling is we don't have the pace.
Leclerc's fault escalates, so his engine now turning orange. And we have a yellow flag.
Got Leclerc off.
Oh, Leclerc off.
Single yellow.
Yeah, copy.
It's been a miserable season for Ferrari, hasn't it? Not getting through.
George,
Or are we? Oh, we are.
Bringing the battery pack up.
Good stuff, George. Apply the pressure, found a way through.
Start reducing that management.
Come on!
Good job. Currently,
Just put him down into a saving mode, and he still managed to get it done.
Down here.
overtake is available.
Closing back in on Yuki again, having dropped behind briefly. Ricardo's still out there on very, very bad tyres now.
Charge the pack.
Use overtake.
Copy.
And Oscar, call the PU where you can.
Copy.
Just show me what you've got then.
Very aggressive defensive driving there from Tsunoda, keeps us behind him. Into the pits for Esteban Ocon, and Ricciardo coming in as well now. Decent stop. Still can't get past Tsunoda. Can he do what George did? Go up the inside? No, he can't.
Overtaking is very,
Let's give him
very
some more
difficult.
tyre. Try and punch him through.
There are opportunities ahead.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Because we are losing so much time to Norris while we're stuck here fighting. And there we go. Around the outside. And now we've got the move done.
Copy. Lovely stuff.
Good job. Ahead of you is Lando.
And Yuki's into the pits. So we got that overtake done just in time for the confidence boost.
Tsunoda also pitted.
Let's give it everything now.
Recharge on.
It's a decent stop for RB. Right. Alonso's going to be boxing soon. Fittipaldi's going to be boxing soon. Can we break the bogey track that is Brazil? It's quite an easy race to win in F1 Manager 22. F1 Manager 23, it got a bit trickier. It's really tricky this time. Right, so Russell's closing on Alonso by a second a lap. It is lapping slower than Norris. Sap a little tiny bit more heat out of the tyres before we push them again. In comes Fittipaldi. Curious as to where he's going to feed out. A whole load of traffic coming behind Hamilton. Russell at 121.1. Yeah, Norris is pushing a little harder than we are right now. It's an okay stop. Will he clear the traffic or will he come out in the middle of it? It's going to be tight. And he just gets out in front of Stroll.
You need to push.
Gasly's car is dying on him. Engine's gone orange as well now. Alonso's in. Decent stop. Where's he going to feed out? The Stroll boxes. Hamilton's gone through. He will get out in front of Fittipaldi, I think. Yeah, he'll get out in front of Fittipaldi. And that puts Hamilton up into P6. Hamilton on that 2-stop strategy, let's not forget. Maybe even a 3-stop at this rate. Is his time? Well, no, his tyres are okay now. He's in clear air. Ocon mired in traffic at the moment, stuck behind Charles Leclerc. And this won't be doing his tyres any good. Needs to clear that Ferrari and clear it quickly. He's got to run here around the outside, and that should be him through. Leclerc struggling with a very sick engine. He's not done just yet. Been a miserable title defense for Charles Leclerc this season. But at least he's won a world title. Max won it in season 1, Leclerc won it in season 2, Piastri on course to win it in season 3. I forget who won the Constructors in season 1. I think it was McLaren. Barrow, if you're still there, you fancy doing a bit of detective work? Oh, problems for Alonso.
I cannot go full throttle. Very, very stiff.
Tucked up behind Hamilton there. And now Lawson with a fault as well.
And as far as we can tell,
Starting to struggle as we reach the tail end of the season. We are 5 kilos underfueled. It's probably a little light on the fuel saving. So let's do a little bit now.
Copy.
Let's take a look at our tyre wear situation. Yeah, we could up our tyres slightly while we're doing the fuel saving.
Happy to use the tyre more now.
Just to counteract the reduction in pace from lifting and coasting. Another win tonight against Southampton. Lovely stuff. And a yellow flag, Sargent with a mistake.
Got a yellow flag at 17. Copy.
really treacherous conditions out there. And the control's lost.
Look at all the traffic that's just nose to tail. Anyone who comes out behind that group is kind of screwed. Valtteri has got himself up to 11th place now as he gets past Charles Leclerc. And we have a fight over 4th place. Tsunoda and Lawson going head to head. There isn't a seat at Red Bull on offer. Well, actually, there might be. Because we think Alonso's out of contract. I think... No, we already know who's signing, I think. Or we know someone's re-signing. Can't remember who it was. Oh, now a lock-up for Sargent as well. Oh, my
Let's
word.
watch these cars as they head into turn 10. The wheels just lock up there. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect
I think
that
was it Charles Leclerc who's going to Red Bull next season? Might be. How you doing, Tony?
Rain easing in pit lane.
Norris is in. A little late catching that one. He's put fresh tyres on. We're going to get down to about 4 kilos of fuel, and then we're going to stop saving. He's only 2.5 seconds behind George. So I think what might be wise is to try and hold him up,
So we
burn
can
his
take
tyres
full
up a little
stand
bit.
of him. And overtake is available.
Copy.
Because he's pushing hard. Look, he's already just over a second behind us.
P2. Next go, Piastri. Gap 11.9.
Can we overheat his tyres here?
Behind. Gap 0.7. So happy to drop lift and coast.
Yeah, copy.
Oscar, suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast.
Copy.
Go. Good defensive driving here from George. What we need. It'll have a twofold effect. It'll hurt, well, threefold, really. It'll help Oscar and George.
Starting to see signs of some overheating.
Copy.
It'll give George a nice big, steady stream of defensive boosts to help keep
Just
his
give us some
confidence
feedback on
above
the tyres.
default.
Currently struggling with the front a bit.
And it'll burn out Norris's tyres, which will force him to be a little more careful with the stint if he is planning on going to the end as it progresses. Oh, he's got alongside us.
We'll have overtake available.
Copy.
Let's push and get past him.
Need to get back in front, and we couldn't. And there we go. That's it. It's done.
And we'll be cooling the tyres.
Copy.
How's the race going? The race is going all right. We had a strong sprint, as we usually do. Bad qualifying for George, qualified in 14th, but with 3 penalties in the top 10, and Valtteri then starting from the pit lane.
Heavier in the pit lane.
Promoted him up to 10th. We've got him up into 3rd place. We are on a very different strategy to quite a lot of the grid, so we are yet to stop. We've been very careful with the tyres in the opening stint. We'll be a little bit more liberal with them now as we approach our pit window. Hamilton's tyres are only a little bit better than us, and he's on a 2-stop strategy right now. So, anyone who's already stopped, with the exception of Norris, could well be 2-stopping. Even Norris may have to 2-stop. I see Lawson and Gasly, the only other cars yet to make their first stops. So, I'm trying to see where we would feed out if I was to stop now. And that would be somewhere behind Ocon and maybe in front of Hulkenberg. So, drop us down to P10, P9, P10. Pit window's about to open up for Oscar. going to box George first.
Let's go flat out.
Coming.
Did you go all the way down on weight with the underfloor? I generally don't like to do that because it makes it very fragile. Chassis and side pods, yeah, by all means, strip them all out. Oh, we have a fault for rock on.
Very strange car behavior now.
Because a chassis should last fully stripped out, I think 4 to 8 races. And the side pods, I think 3 to 6, 4 to 8 maybe on those as well, in that kind of window. But the underfloor, you know, you can maybe only get 3 races out of an underfloor. And then because they have quite a long time to build and they're not cheap, you end up paying a lot in replacements. So Norris is already 5 seconds ahead of George. Ricardo with an issue now.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
And Leclerc's struggles continue. Now Van Dorn has got past him. Wings are a different story because, I mean, they're quick to produce and they're relatively cheap. But again, I don't like to strip all of the weight out of them because then you're looking at like 1 to 3 races. You could be replacing the wing every race on, when it gets to sprints. But I generally take a fair bit of weight out of the wings, get them to like a 2 to 4 window, maybe a 3 to 5 on the rear wing. And that's Perez with an escalation on his fault. That's 3 cars with very sick components now. I wonder if Gasly's gearbox has gone orange as well as his engine. Let's have a little look. Nope, still yellow. Lawson's got a yellow engine. Perez has got an orange ERS now. The only part that wasn't new this weekend. How is Leclerc's Ferrari? Yeah, not looking good. Speaking of Leclerc, he is into the pits. So he is 2 stopping. We'll box George this lap.
Box.
Copy, box.
Box for the Inter.
Box Oscar next lap. As Lawson is in.
Box this lap.
Copy, box.
Oh, George. Please don't be in the barrier. No, he's not. He's got a puncture though. Damn it.
So we've got a yellow. Covering.
Another disaster for George.
Just pull the tyres as much as you can.
Copy.
I may as well put him into full harvest mode.
Just do a little bit more lift and coast.
Copy.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get in this lap then for Oscar. Yes, we can.
Oscar, pit lane.
Remember, the pit lane is wetter.
Copy.
There goes Norris. So we did 38 laps on that first set. Norris's tyres in worse shape than ours, but he has got a lead advantage on us. Sonoda's gone through into second. Here comes George. He's slipped down to 10th before he's even made it to the pits.
Slipping in the pit lane.
Copy.
That is currently P3. Okay, ahead of you is Sonoda.
He's 8 seconds ahead.
Alonso is now the car behind.
2.1 second stop. I didn't even see how quick Piastri's stop was. But a 2.1 is pretty good.
Okay, maximum pace now.
Why is that showing?
Copy.
Use overtake.
Copy.
Why is it showing I've still got a puncture?
And track will be clear on exit.
It's just a weird visual glitch.
Sergeant ahead. And we've got the clerk behind. So gap behind 3.5. So happy to drop lift and coast.
Copy.
George recommend we start bringing the battery pack up.
Copy.
No, he's definitely not driving like he's got a puncture. That's the first time I've ever seen that bug.
Overtake available.
Understood.
Trying for the fastest lap here. George all the way down in 19th place. And there we go, we get it with Oscar.
Copy. Copy.
See if George can get it. Actually, no, we don't really want George getting it now.
Copy.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Yeah, roger.
He's unlikely to make the top 10 now. Let's see. The sponsors need him to be in 12th. That is 20 seconds that we've got to make up in this stint. Some of those cars will have to stop again. A couple won't. Lawson in particular will be going to the end.
So car ahead is Sergeant.
And is Norris going to have the pace to beat us again today?
Car behind the clerk.
No, he had a puncture. When he spun out, he was pushing the tyres flat out on his in-lap, and he spun and it punctured. So he sparked all the way back to the pits, changed tyres, and is still sparking, but no longer has a puncture. It's it's the first time I've ever seen that weird visual glitch. Valtteri comes in.
Charge the pack.
Yeah.
He should get out in front of Valtteri.
Copy.
There is Valtteri. So up to 18th place. How safe is the fastest lap? Oh. 10th quicker than Hamilton's. Not convincingly safe. Track's going to be very dry towards the end. Look, it's definitely changing compared to what we saw. Joe and Sainz are both in. Chance for George to move up another couple of places here.
Overtake is available.
Okay.
Valtteri's all over the back of us. Right, there we go, 16th place now. And we're now 15 and a half seconds. 16 seconds off the back of Van Dorn. So we are closing in on the points. As Hamilton comes in for his second stop. He will get out in front of George, I think. Oh yeah, comfortably. Good stop for Hamilton there. Once again, he is going to be Ferrari's main hope for a decent finish. Leclerc languishing, although down in 21st now. It's going to come out just behind Lawson. Oh, and Hamilton is going to be who we're going to have to compete with for points. "13 seconds ahead of us, but also on fresh tyres now. We do have a quicker car than that Ferrari, and we probably have a better mentality at the moment as well, because Hamilton's only had a couple of good results in recent races, and they have been hard to come by in the last race or two as well.
Keep your head down.
Valtteri gets
Right,
through.
we're down at turn 5. The opportunity begging to be taken.
Gets up the inside. We'll sit behind him. Try and get some battery back in the car. Keep saving some fuel, keep the tyres in decent condition. They're already in better shape than Valtteri's are. Valtteri stopped after we did. But he's pushing hard right now. He's already dropped, a second on George. So we'll just keep pootling along like this then. 2 seconds behind now. Bottas pushing with a vengeance here. He's already all over the back of Sargent and Perez.
Car behind Lando.
I'll let him overheat his tyres. In that hot, dirty air. Ocon's fault escalates.
Yeah, I don't have power now.
Currently leading Alonso. Alonso with a fault of his own, and now his tyres are going to be starting to overheat. And I don't think either of them can go to the end. Well, actually, no. Alonso might be able to. Unless he spends a long time in the dirty air. I don't know if Ocon can be competitive, especially with that car fault. So, maybe we can wrap up the Constructors. If George was where he was supposed to be, it would be, you know, a much more easy to answer question. But down in 17th place makes it a fair bit trickier. Hamilton is now through into 10th place and is about 14 and a half seconds ahead of us. We only need 12th, and that is Stroll. And Stroll is only 9.5 seconds ahead of us. So we're on for the sponsors, but obviously we want to try and get some points as well. Gap to Tsunoda has come down a little bit. Norris has pulled away a little bit from Tsunoda. We're still around about 11.5, 12 seconds behind Norris. The gap has not changed. Tyres are healthier though. And here comes Zhou pushing in. So we're going to try and get past Sargent. We whiz around the outside. And Sargent's into the pits. So we got that overtake timed perfectly to get the confidence boost. And we got the personal best purple final sector as well there. For an extra little confidence boost. Now might be the time to start thinking about a fastest lap attempt, although the track's going to get drier still. We'll start putting some battery into Oscar, see if we can combine a fastest lap attempt with an overtake on Tsunoda.
Got Joe. Gap 1.1.
Yeah, agree.
Valtteri just stuck behind Perez, and his tyres are suffering really badly as a result. He pushed them hard for a few laps, pushed the temperatures way up, and now he can't cool them down in that dirty air. We could be vulnerable to Zhou here.
Overtake is available.
Yeah, copy.
So car ahead now, Perez. Head point 2. So happy to push now.
Yeah, I'm going to wait on the fastest lap attempt.
Yeah. Copy.
Track is going to get much faster. There we go, around the outside at Young Cow.
Valtteri, he's the next car. So gap ahead 1.4. So as much tyre calling as you can manage, please.
Just 10.5 seconds away from Stroll. Lost a little bit of time there behind Perez. Points are 17 seconds away. No, 14 seconds away.
Car is Bottas. Gap ahead, 0.7. George recommends we start bringing the battery back up.
That was Gasly getting lapped. Just 2 kilos of fuel to find now. That was a purple first sector there for George. Getting that slipstream from Valtteri.
Yeah, 0.7. And overtake is available.
Lawson sets a new fastest lap of 1:17.2. Stroll beats it by tiny, tiny margins there. And we just miss out on it. But we are through on Valtteri into the clear air. Pull those tyres down. And, more importantly, back into peak confidence. The recovery continues.
Feels like there's rain everywhere on the circuit now.
Temperature's okay.
Copy.
So that's currently P14.
Been a while since we checked in visually with Oscar.
3.5. Valtteri car behind. Gap 0.4.
And this car ahead is Sonoda. Still plenty of opportunities. We can use the pace now.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
And that's Perez in. Valtteri gets me.
Now this was at turn 3. Can they squeeze by?
We can, but we can squeeze by ourselves. Yuki sets the fastest lap, a 1:17.0.
Push and hold, overtake.
Okay.
Evening, Daniel.
You got Valtteri behind. Gap ahead 0.5, behind 0.5. Keep your head down. Charge the pack.
Right. Starting to get a little bugged by the fact that we keep
Let's keep pushing up to cars.
moving back and forth against Yuki, so I want to get onto him and get past him. Get Oscar's confidence up a bit more. What do I think of Perez leaving Red Bull? I think it's overdue. Should have happened
Next car is
at the end of last year. I don't know why. Not only did they stick with him this season, but then offered him a 2-year contract extension after Miami. George.
Available.
Lovely. Who do I think will replace him? I'd like Tsunoda to get his chance, but I don't think he will. It's looking like it's going to be Norris, not Norris, Lawson.
Lift off end of straight.
Copy.
There is speculation from Ted Kravitz that it might be Albon, that there's a break clause in Albon's contract, which could be an interesting twist. It would certainly allow Williams to put Colapinto on the grid next season, who they definitely rate. Although he has been a little crash happy at the end of the year. How do I think he'll do at Red Bull? Who? Hamilton's out. We've got a VSC. Hamilton is out. What has happened? Oh, big lockup at turn 1. And are we going to see some cars diving into the pits?
Now we should be able to take a look here. Okay,
oh, it was a crash.
So heading into
he was
turn
tagged.
1 here, cutting it so close. Oh, and the cars there, unable to keep out of each other's way. Now their confidence will have taken a hit with that.
And that's it for Ferrari. No points for them again this weekend because Leclerc sure as shit isn't getting any.
Today. That is for sure.
So Stoffel Van Dorn will get a penalty for that for sure. Here we see it from another angle, just sent into the shadow realm there. Stop Piastri? No need. No. I'd be better to keep him out.
Car in the barriers.
If Norris does stop,
Is he alright?
then I'll have enough tyres to keep Norris behind. But if I stop and Norris doesn't, I'm never going to have a chance to catch him. Oh, it's Hulkenberg, not Van Dorn. Hulkenberg with a 5-second penalty. That means Russell is now just 8 seconds away from points against Stroll.
P2.
Ahead of you is Lando.
Potentially has the chance to close in quite quickly on Hulkenberg, who's going to have some wing damage, surely. Yeah, he's missing an end plate. That's going to hurt on this circuit. There's 16 laps to go. This will help us with our fuel saving. Keep the tyre temps under control. We can get some battery back in the car. Hulkenberg's in, so that's going to promote us up to P11. Wing change, penalty. That's going to be a 13-second stop without issues. Nobody else is stopping. Porsche should. He absolutely should. And Stoffel.
DSC ending.
Copy. Flat out.
Copy.
Suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast.
So,
Yep.
7.5 seconds behind Norris. It might be a little less than that.
Copy.
Now that we get back up to racing speed. Same for Russell against Ricciardo and Stroll. Yeah, gap across the line is 6.3. And we have a big tyre advantage, so we can be more aggressive now. Not going to use the battery yet because there is still a little lull in the weather to come. George, 5.5 seconds away from, well, less than that maybe. It's still kind of screwy. It'll change when we get across the line properly. But let's just say it's 5 seconds behind. Again, with a big tyre advantage on the cars in front. Porsche hasn't stopped. He's going to have to do that under full racing conditions. Same for Van Dorn. And yeah, there we go. Just under 5 seconds the gap to Ricciardo. Track is now hitting that period where it's going to be at its driest. This is what we're saving the battery for. 1:16.7 is the new fastest lap for Carlos Sainz. Taking a couple of tenths out of Oscar, out of Norris on that lap. 3.5 tenths. The gap to Ricciardo is just 3 seconds.
We'll have overtake available.
Coming.
Use overtake.
Copy.
New fastest lap again. On 16.5, times are going to plummet. On 15.4 for Nico Hulkenberg on those new tyres.
Gap ahead 1.0.
Purple first sector there for Oscar.
Just give us some tyre feedback.
George going around the outside into Junção.
Nice one.
Let's keep this up. So car ahead is Stroll. Head 4.2.
That's a 1:15.3. Oscar's going even quicker. Oscar's going to obliterate the fastest lap here, potentially.
Copy.
Purple in the first and second sectors.
Pack is low.
Copy.
Gap to Norris now less than 3 seconds.
Accelerate a bit more.
Let's get into the tyre cooling, please.
It's a 1:14.6. And that, I hope, is all she wrote for the fastest lap contest. And we got the gap to 2.5 seconds with 11 laps to go.
Yeah. Copy. Recharge on. Copy.
Let's go flat out.
Norris is responding with a lap of his own. Did a 1:16.9 last time around. Stretched the gap back up to 2.8. On 16.4, 1:16.6.
You can start pushing.
There's Russell closing in on Van Dorn and Stroll. Lawson's only another 1.5 seconds ahead as well. So this could be another 3 places here for George. Don't think he'll have the pace to go after Ocon. His tyres are in really bad shape, but let's see, what's his pace? 1:18s? No, I don't. It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible.
So currently P10. Gap ahead 0.5. Bottas behind. Gap 4.5. So happy to drop lift and coast.
Going around the outside of an Aston at turn 1 is risky, as Lewis found out.
Good job. Currently P9. So ahead of you, you've got Stroll.
We're in the points. That's P9.
Ahead
2 seconds to 7th. And we took 4/10 out of Norris.
We have a blue flag.
You get past Charles Leclerc. Alonso's fault escalates.
But the car's definitely not happy. Surely some kind of fault.
That is going to leave them potentially vulnerable to Enzo Fittipaldi, which would be huge for Fittipaldi and Sauber and us, because that would take yet more points away from Red Bull.
Charge the pack. Point 2. Keep your head down. Now we'll be cooling the tyres.
Copy.
We dive up the inside of Lawson. Can we immediately go on the attack on Stroll?
Overtake available.
That was a nice move.
Stroll covers off the inside look.
Currently P8. So Stroll far ahead.
Gap to Norris is less than 2 seconds.
So gap ahead, 0.4. Okay, so let's just get head down now.
Let's try and push up. Possibly you can reduce the LICO slightly.
Yeah, copy.
Porsche finally boxes.
Cool the car.
I'm amazed he didn't puncture. George dives up the inside and gets the move done. And there is a puncture for Van Dorn. Punctures going through into turn 5. What were Porsche's tyres at before he boxed? 21%. So the hunt is on to get Esteban Ocon with George. The hunt is on to get Lando Norris here with Oscar. He's getting held up by Van Dorn, and now we're getting held up. Ah!
So ahead of you is Lando, who's 1.3 behind. No half done.
It's going to be a dramatic finale
Copy.
to this Grand Prix.
Recharge on. Yep, copy.
Make sure I don't run out of fuel with George again. Not after last time.
Increase the level of lift at coast.
Not after Mexico. Van Dorn finally gets back to the pits and is leaving on a brand new set of inters.
Ahead of you is Lando.
0.8. But we think there's still opportunities here. Use the overtake button.
Copy.
Norris is responding. 116.7 for Lando on that lap. He really does not want to get overtaken, does he?
Copy.
His tyres are down to 38%. Can we push him into puncture territory? Because that would be awesome for George if Norris punctured. Speaking of George, he has got the gap to Ocon down to 6 seconds. He can take 6th place here. Fittipaldi is all over the back of Alonso. There's going to be drama all the way up and down the top 10 here.
0.9.
There's still opportunities here.
And recharge on, recharge on.
Copy.
Fittipaldi gets a fault,
Copy.
but he gets past Ocon.
But there! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
Recharge on.
Copy.
4 laps to go.
Yep. Copy.
We are absolutely destroying those tyres.
Copy.
And if you can just cool the tyres as much as you can.
Copy.
It's just increased LICO.
Yeah. Copy. Copy.
So as much tyre cooling as you can manage, please.
Copy. Copy.
We've got a load of traffic coming off as well.
Copy.
Laps are ticking down. 3.5 seconds to Ocon. Fittipaldi trying to get Ocon, trying to get past Alonso. I thought he was fighting Alonso. Ocon. He was actually fighting Alonso, and he didn't get the move done. Can we go around the outside? Yes, we can. We're into the lead with 3 laps to go.
Use the tyre. Copy. Nice.
Good job. Body recharge on.
Copy.
Oscar, we're hold positions now.
Come on, Enzo.
And we still need more lifting.
Take that position away from Alonso.
Good.
I don't know if it's going to be enough to get us the title, but it would just be nice. 3 laps left for George. Tyres still a little hot. Norris's tyres now down to 32%. We're going to really push the temps on those.
And reminder for recharge.
Copy.
Use the pace now.
Oscar, suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast.
Copy. Yeah.
There is Ocon.
Go.
Copy.
Let's get into the tyre cooling, please.
1.5 seconds with 2 laps and a bit to go for George.
Copy.
Still, we're frustrating Norris. We're going to use our tyres and battery in a moment.
Okay, use deploy.
Copy.
1 second, the gap.
George, recommend we start bringing the battery pack up.
Copy.
I think, yeah, that's Ricardo. There's Norris. We are miles ahead of him.
So car ahead now is
Fittipaldi has got past Alonso and has opened up a 2-second gap. Can I take even more points away from Red Bull here?
an overtake is available.
Copy.
Pack is low.
Yeah.
Up the inside into the final, on the final lap there at turn 1, gets it done. George moves up into P6. What an amazing fight back that's been. Here comes Oscar, who's going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I think that's our first win at Brazil on F1 Manager 24.
Hang on. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Cheers.
When you get to the FIA, you need to turn the car fully off. So kill the engine, wait 5 seconds, and then you can switch it completely off.
George has got a 1-second gap to Esteban Ocon. He's got just enough battery. Keep that gap nice and healthy. I'm not going to catch Alonso, but I mean, that would have been amazing if we could have got Alonso as well. We are going to massively outscore Red Bull this weekend. We might be able to wrap up the Constructors as a result. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's going to be so close. And George, who started in P10, was running really well, had a spin and a puncture, dropped to the back of the grid, gets himself back up into P6.
Nice one.
What a great fight back from George, getting Ocon on the very final lap as well.
Pick up rubber where you can.
Fittipaldi's going to finish 4th. Tsunoda's on the podium. Russell has lost more points to Norris, but all things considered, that was a hell of a race for both drivers.
And the celebrations now can begin. They'll be taking the Constructors' title back home.
And there we go, we got the title.
Dominant display we've seen this season. I don't think it was ever in doubt.
With such a strong performance from Piastri, there's no denying that he's earned that place on the podium today.
It almost feels like it doesn't need saying after a 7th win, but another stunning performance today.
And that means, here in Sao Paulo, it's party time. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
They'll be absolutely delighted to have picked up the win here. What a great outcome that is for the team.
And from our team in Sao Paulo, a big thank you for joining us this weekend.
The next round of the season will see Formula One return to the States as the glitz and the glamour of Las Vegas awaits.
Confirmation then of the final result. Win number 7 this year for Oscar Piastri. Gets the fastest lap as well. And with Ocon struggling, that is 20 points more just from this race on that gap to Ocon. We haven't wrapped up the driver's title yet, but we are now so close. Can we claim that in Vegas? Lando takes 2nd place and pulls out some extra points over George, although George did has mitigated that a little bit by winning the sprint. Yuki gets himself a podium. Big points for RB, especially with Stroll in the top 10 as well. Fittipaldi in 4th place, and with Valtteri managing to start from the pit lane and getting all the way up into 10th for that final point. What a great day for Sauber. Alonso in P5, Ocon P7, Stroll P8, Lawson is P9. Take a look a little bit further down. Hulkenberg P11, gaining 4 places despite that 5-second penalty added to his stop and a new front wing after taking out Lewis Hamilton there. Then it's 12th for Zhou, 13th for Sainz, 14th for Ricciardo, 15th for Sargent, 16th for Verstappen. Porsche in 17th. Leclerc, a miserable afternoon with an engine that was very, very sick. He'll have a brand new engine at Vegas. He will be quick, although he will be starting further down because of a penalty, because of an engine change. Perez, 19th place. Bad race for him as well. And Van Dorn all the way down in 20th with that puncture towards the end. Gasly finishes 21st, and Hamilton, the only non-finisher, taken out by Nico Hulkenberg. In the driver's standings, the gap is 60 points. Now, let's see if we can work this out. There are 3 rounds to go. So that is 26, 52, 78, plus a sprint. There are 86 points available with 60 points the gap. So the 26-point margin there to play about with. If we win the next race at Vegas, that means there will only be there will only be 60 points available. And then it doesn't matter where Ocon finishes. He could come second. There will only be 60 points left. And we will have at worst, if we win the race, at worst, we will have a 66-point lead. So Oscar could win the championship, the driver's title, in Vegas tomorrow night. Norris in 3rd now has, let's see, a 21-point lead over George. Damage limitation, the sprint win for George there, saving face, means he only drops 2 points for Lando tonight, despite Lando finishing in 2nd place. Alonso 5th, a long way behind, but has stretched a little bit of a lead now to Charles Leclerc, 11 points ahead of him. He's not going to catch George, but could take 5th place. Tsunoda in 7th has stretched away from Lewis Hamilton. He now has a 27-point lead, and that is looking like it's going to be very, very tricky for Ferrari to overcome. I don't think they're going to be able to. And, Leclerc needs to pull some results together, because not only is he losing out to Fernando Alonso, if his form like this continues, he will lose out to Tsunoda as well. Porsche has 9th. He's now up to 80 points ahead of his teammate Sainz in 10th with 60. Then it is Nico Hulkenberg in 11th, Ricciardo in 12th. Valtteri Bottas picks up 7 points this week for 36 overall, 9 behind Ricciardo. And gotta say, I would put money on Bottas beating Ricciardo in the standings this season. Lawson is on 23 points in 14th. Then it is Enzo Fittipaldi, just 1 point behind, gaining 2 places and 12 points. So huge boost for Sauber this weekend. 19 points gained for Sauber. That's going to be massive in the Constructors. Stroll in 16th drops down a place despite scoring 9 points. He has actually been overtaken now by Enzo Fittipaldi, despite them being level on points. Then it's Logan Sargent in 17th, Zhou in 18th, 19th for Perez, 20th for Gasly, 21st for Stoffel, Max 22nd with just 2 points. Constructor standings then. We have won the title. We have a 173-point lead. How many points are available? Let's do some quick mental maths again. 44 times 3 is 132. Plus another 15 from the sprint. There's 147 points available. So, yeah, impossible for us to be caught. We have done that with 3 rounds to go. It's been a really topsy-turvy season in the Constructors for us against Red Bull, but we have overcome them. Despite arguably having the weaker car, we've had more consistent results than they have. 11 wins for us, 6 wins for Red Bull. George has been superb as the number 2 driver, even though he wasn't signed as a number 2. He just wasn't on Oscar's level this year. But Alonso has struggled. Partly down to just mistakes, partly down to reliability as well. But it has not been a great season for Alonso, which is why Red Bull have struggled against us for wins. They say we've had 19 podiums this year, 15 for Red Bull. Let's see, McLaren in third, 353 points, are now pretty much guaranteed to finish ahead of Ferrari. That is, I don't think, under any threat whatsoever. They're not going to catch Red Bull. So McLaren are going to finish third. Ferrari should finish fourth. I can't see Red Bull catching them. RB catching them. RB, though, on course to beat Mercedes. Mercedes down to 6th place now. They are not going to drop any further than that. But Sauber have moved up into 7th place above Aston Martin by 4 points. Then it's Haas with another 2 points this weekend. They're in 9th. Alpine in 10th have 22 points now, and 6 points for Williams at the bottom of the table. How do we do in the pit stops? Oscar got in there with a 2.1 second stop. And look at that. We had 2.1 second stop. Oscar made it. George did not. 2.186. Missed out by 7 thousandths of a second to Ricciardo there. So just 2 points for us, but no points for Alpine. So once again, that gap comes down again. It's just 2 points between us and Alpine. We are going to be scrapping tooth and nail with them right to the end of the season for 5th place in the DHL competition. Ferrari top, they pull out another big chunk of points over Red Bull. 27 points ahead of them after today, or 27 more points ahead of them, as I should say. So they now have a 52-point gap with 3 rounds to go. That's a very nice, comfortable margin. McLaren have scored a few extra points than Red Bull, but I don't know if they'll catch them. They are 67 points behind. That's a lot to overcome in the next couple of weeks. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, but we shall see. McLaren have a 40-point lead over Mercedes, who are on 311. They will not be caught by Alpine, but they, again, could maybe overhaul McLaren. Unlikely, but possible. So there's still plenty to play for across the top 4 there. Potentially a two-way fight for the lead, a two-way fight for second, and a two-way fight for third. And McLaren could go either way. They could finish as high as second. They could finish as low as fourth. Bit of an interesting little dichotomy of options available there. Let's see. Aston have a 93 points. I don't think they're going to trouble us. So I hope they're not going to trouble us. RB on 79 points. Haas, big points for them. 15 today. They are now just 8 behind RB. That could be an interesting little fight. Then Williams have 27 points, likely to stay in 10th, and Sauber likely to stay in 11th with just 19. We do get our payout for both drivers, 1.37 mil added to the bank, and that will hopefully pay for a front wing research project. Chassis research is done. Side pod research is done. Tom Stallard gains an overall rating point, goes up to 89. And let's go to the inbox first of all. So, we lost a front wing. That just broke. We're going to need to replace that. There you see the expected finishes. George had an expected finish of 8th and actually got 6th despite dropping down where he did. So, yeah, great week. Great weekend for George. Monthly car development. We are slipping a little bit in the dirty air. Our downforce is looking pretty appalling now. 17th and 19th. Low speed's still decent though. October in F1, RB have got a new front wing, but it seems to be one of the worst of its kind on the grid right now, and apparently they're working on a new rear wing. Will they get that out in time this year? Let's have a look at our monthly affiliates. Tommy has gained a point in cornering. Christian has gained a point in cornering as well. Jack has gained nothing. Our main drivers, a point each for our drivers in reactions there. Sidepod research done. There you see the little gains there. Same for the chassis. Some decent little gains there. Let's get the pit crew training done. So 26 fatigue. Not too bad. We're at 17 at the start of the new week. We'll give them the day off. Let's go with a day of car building. And let's really try and focus on some gym training for these last 3 races. Yeah, we'll give them the Monday off. Let's go with another day of car building. Really work those pit stops. It might be a bit too much. It is a bit too much. All right. So if we take a little bit out this way. %, going into Vegas. That I can live with. And then I can get in a day of gym training here. And a morning as well. And that, again, I can live with. We'll finish just outside. All right, let's take that down. Take that out completely. There we go. We got ourselves back into well rested just before the end of the month. So, there we go. That's our training set. Let's go ahead and confirm that. George's stats looking a little bit healthier now. Let's fix the front wing. Running a little low on spares, as you can see. Side pod is high risk. Have we got one in the works? Yes, we do. Good. What else is high risk? Underfloor, chassis, suspension. Don't need to worry about a suspension, I hope. I'm not going to worry about an underfloor. We're not going to make any more parts now. We're going to try and rely on older spec parts where we need to, if worst comes to worst. And we will now give George favourable treatment over Oscar, given George needs the results more than Oscar does. George, as I say, struggling against Lando at the moment, but Oscar one hand on the trophy. So research, I've got 4.8 mil nearly, or 4.7 mil. Let's get that front wing done. Let's go with a bit more dirty air tolerance. We'll go with that. There we go. I could get another project done as well. And then we'll do that on the suspension. Just get with that. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look at where we sit currently in terms of our research for next season. So we need to reload to get the results from those two projects that have just ended, the side pod and suspension and chassis, added into our stats. So major changes, as you can see on the chassis, 30% losses on airflow and drag reduction. We've more than covered those off, and we've got 10% gains pretty much across the board now on the chassis. Very nice. Front wing, haven't done anything on the front wing yet. Same with the rear wing, but we've got a project with some hours going through on each of those. Side pod, 10% changes on airflow and on this one, and drag reduction. We've covered those off. So we're looking at about a 3.5% gain across the board, 4% gain on the side pods. Not too bad. Underfloor has very little in the way of gains, but we've got another underfloor project going through right now. And then suspension, we just started another one. Again, we're looking at very little gains, but with another suspension project going through. That might be it for us for research for next season now. I don't think we're going to have time maybe to get another, well, maybe. Yeah, when the underfloor goes, we'll have time to do one more project. So we'll get probably another underfloor done just to try and work on our downforce levels a little bit more. Let's take a look at facilities. I know I keep wanting to spend money to get these fixed. That refurb is just a little bit more than I can afford. Same for the factory. Team Hub has now gone. It's cheap refurb, but it's not that expensive to upgrade either, which I'd rather do. Hospitality, again, I'd like to upgrade that rather than refurb it. Boardroom, I really don't care about the boardroom at the moment. Weather center's going to go soon. We can get a straight upgrade in on that. And that I am going to do, because that will boost our marketability before the end of the year, which will hopefully help us with attracting better sponsors for next season. We shall see. So, we've got 17 days to go until Vegas. We will end it here. What a weekend that was. You know, we normally do very well in the sprint and terribly in the Grand Prix. We broke that curse today with a wonderful win for Oscar Piastri, a superb fight back through the field for George to take 6th place, and we wrapped up the Constructors' Championship. Not only that, with the problems for Ocon in this Grand Prix as well, we now have one hand firmly on the trophy for Oscar, and if he can win in Vegas, it does not matter what happens to Esteban Ocon. We will win the Drivers' World Championship tomorrow night. So, keep our fingers crossed for that. I hope I will see you again for that at the usual time, 8 p.m. For round 22 and the last American, Grand Prix, before we then head to Qatar on Friday for the last sprint of the season. I am going to stream the championship finale, or not say the championship finale, the season finale on YouTube on Saturday, so that we have Sunday as a day off, and then we can kickstart next season on Monday. Obviously, making up for the fact that I didn't stream last night. We would normally have finished the stream, finished the season on Friday. So I will stream on Saturday. I will stream at 5 p.m. on Saturday on YouTube. I will stick a reminder on the community tab as well to end off season 5. So hopefully I'll see you for the season finale. If not, the replay will be available as soon as the stream ends. So you will be able to watch that. And then, as I say, on Monday we can kickstart the new season, season 4, and see what happens with the driver market and see who we end up replacing George with. Do we sign George? Do we sign George? Do we sign Max to replace George, or do we promote Kimi Antonelli, who will be joining us at the end of this season as an affiliate? Choices. I might leave that up to you guys. We shall see. So, yeah, that's it here. If you haven't found me yet on my other YouTube channel, link is in the About section. Links on YouTube here. There will be, I know I keep saying that, but there will be content coming on that channel very, very soon. Frostpunk will be coming for a bit of winter-themed content over Christmas. Indiana Jones is definitely coming now that I have got that downloaded and installed on Steam. So I will be doing a playthrough of Indiana Jones and the Golden Circle. So if you're at all curious about that, you'll be able to see that on the new PC channel. I'll be doing some ETS live streams over the festive period as well, especially with the new ETS winter event that's going on. I may not do that with American Truck Sim. I may wait until the new year for American Truck Sim. But yeah, there we go. So you can also find me on Twitch. I will do more experimental streaming to try and figure out where I've been going wrong with OBS at some point in the next, hopefully, day or two. And then we'll do a normal Porsche race. Will be a bit of a double header, kind of, on Sunday on Twitch, because we did qualifying and practice and qualifying on Sunday last week, and then we ended it because it just wasn't working very well. So we will do the actual race on Sunday at where was it? Which circuit was it? Was it Kota? I can't remember which track it is for Porsche. But we'll do, no, I don't know. But we'll do Porsche on Sunday. We'll finish the race that needs to be done, and then we'll do another race weekend after that as well. So hope that I'll see you on Twitch on Sunday as well. Until then, though, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager as defending champions very soon.